Hi everyone, my name is Sandra. Welcome back to my channel. Today's makeup look is another Valentine's Day look using Dominique Cosmetics Latte 2. And I really have my eyes focused on maybe the sparkly shades, but really this shade here, which is called Strawberry Milk and Cafe Con Leche right here. So these two, I'm going to make a Valentine's Day look and perhaps use some kind of sparkle on the lid. We're going to see how it goes. And of course, as usual, I'm going to start in the crease, but I'm going to use an E35 brush today. This is by Sigma, of course. I'm going to go right in with Strawberry Milk, and I'm not topping off my brush today because this is really going to be the focus of today's look. When I think of February, I know I focus on Valentine's Day, and it's kind of funny because honestly, we don't do anything for Valentine's Day. Not that I don't believe in it, but it's more of a money thing. It kind of comes down to having the money. And I'd rather honestly do stuff for our birthdays rather than Valentine's. So usually it just works out to be a homemade card or something, which is just as nice. And maybe a foot rub. But besides for all of that, I actually just think of pink and red for Valentine's. It's still, your kids exchange Valentines at school, and it's just that time of year. We always need to have kind of a holiday to celebrate, I feel like. I think after Christmas, it's like January is a difficult month because we're all trying not to spend any money because we overspend at Christmas. And even if you didn't overspend, it's still Christmas is a high spend month, whether it's on decorations or gifts or whatever it is. And even like for businesses, a lot of advertising is going in at Christmas time. So December is always kind of a year end high spend month. And then January is like kind of cutting back, doing inventory even, trying not to spend as much. And so January, there really is no holiday. And I think January and February are the hardest months to get through. I do actually have a blog on my website. My website is www.sandradahl.ca. And I'm actually posting to this site called Medium as well, also blog post. And I'm really discussing topics about my life, topics I feel strongly about, and things that I think will help you guys if you choose to read my blogs. And one of them, I call it the winter blues. And basically, I'm saying that January and February are the hardest months to get through because that's when seasonal affective disorder sets in. I won't go too much into detail about that. I will let you read it if you want to. And it's just a hard time for everybody. So we really need those holidays, I guess, to look forward to something, because if it's not a birthday or we can't really have parties, it's just been a really stressful time for everybody. And actually, I'm talking about stress and anxiety in my power sheet. So I'm doing my review for January and my February goals and my Cultivate What Matters power sheets. And actually, it turned out to be a pretty stressful video to make. And it sounds negative, but it's not meant to be a negative video. It's just kind of what I'm going through right now. And I also believe in authenticity and showing your true self. I don't think that YouTube and Instagram should just be a cover up of, um, everything's great. Hey, everything's crazy. Like, everything's so wonderful. Everybody just happy, happy, rainbows and sunshine all the time, because life isn't like that all the time. So, trying to be authentic, and um, January and February are very hard, especially this stressful time with COVID right now. So just we need, Valentine's Day to celebrate and let it be warm and fuzzy and do something fun, do something romantic with your partner, do something great for your kids. Should just be about a celebration. And then of course, March is spring. So finally we get into something pleasant. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to use Cafe Con Leche to blend out my shadow here and just make this a little bit softer, although it's looking pretty nice. I like this shadow. I don't really want to go into any of the browns because normally I would use a darker brown to make this look darker. I mean, you could, and maybe I will. I don't know. I just like the pink shadow for February. I'm going to take an E27, which is a detail blender, and I'm going to run this also along my lower lash line. I feel like I can never talk when I'm doing lower lash line work because I'm trying to concentrate not getting the shadow in my eye. I like the E27 and sometimes the E25 for lower lash line work just because you can actually really blend out the shadow if you want to. And a lot of times I like doing that because not necessarily because the concealer is all messed up under there, but I mean, that is a good reason to wear under eye shadow if you have messed up concealer. Just put some color underneath your lid. But also because it just kind of completes the eye look and it makes it really soft and smoky and just really pretty looking. So not that I want to use this brush on the lower lash line, I'm just going to blend it out a tiny bit. And I want to pack a little bit more of that color on the lid. I feel like it's skipping a little bit on the inner portion here. I just went in straight with my E27 because I feel like that'll give me a better color payoff than the blending, the tapered blending. Okay, so that looks good. Maybe we will go in a tad with the darker brown. So I think I will use the Cafecito because it's a bit of a warmer brown. So I'm using the E27, keep it small, and just a tiny bit on the tip of my brush and put it on the outside corner and kind of into the crease just a tiny bit. And I am going to blend it out with more of strawberry milk because I don't want this to be a dark look. I want to keep that romantic pink shade. I just want to give my eye a little bit more of a definition. Okay, so I just used it to darken it up a tiny bit. I don't really want to add any more than that. But I will go in with a sparkly color. I think I'll use Frappe because it is the lightest color in the palette. I'm just going to use my finger and add a little bit to the inner portion of the lid. It's not really a shimmer, it's just more of a topper. But it still brightens up the look a little bit, which is pretty. I'm also going to take a little bit on a pencil brush. I feel like that might add some light to the eye as well, even though it kind of feels like it's just falling everywhere when you use a brush. I just felt like it fell pretty much all over my under eye area. So now what I'm going to do is just add some mascara. And then I'm also going to add lip gloss, but I'm going to go in with lip gloss right now. I'm using the shade Fussy. This is by Rihanna, by Fenty Beauty, and it is the Gloss Balm lip gloss. I love the gloss. My first one was Fenty Glow, which is my favorite. But this one is called Fussy, and the S's are dollar signs. The smell of this gloss is so pretty. So that's kind of all I'm really looking for is a really pretty shine on the lips. I'm going to go ahead and coat my lashes with mascara and I will be back to show you the completed look. Okay, you guys, so that is it for mascara. I really didn't go crazy, and I finally figured out what this mascara was. It is the L'Oreal Voluminous Extra Collagen Mascara. It's supposed to be like extra volume, and I find that it does not give you extra volume, and it's not old, it's a brand new tube. And I also find that when I have my mascara first opened, it doesn't really do very well at all. Probably after the first week or two, then it starts to get better until it starts to dry out. So the very last thing that I'm going to do is take another, I'm going to take my highlighter and take my tiny little pencil brush. So I take my tiny little detailed lip brush, the LO4. I use it as an inner corner highlight. So I'm just going to put some of my Mary Lou by the Balm on my inner corners to brighten things up a tiny bit. This is my favorite highlight to do this with. Also a little bit underneath the brow bone. And we are all done. So this look was actually really super simple and quick. And to be honest, when I first thought about this palette, I didn't really think I could get a Valentine's Day look out of it. This shade doesn't really look pink to me. With like on my skin tone, it looks like a pretty soft, gentle pink. And in here, it looks almost more of a salmon color. So I'm actually really impressed with this. And I haven't actually used this palette too much. I know I've done a neutral eye, and I think I did a colorful eye with a teal, but I mean, it's hard for me to envision because you only do really get 3 colors, and then this is more of a topper, not a sparkle, and I don't love having gold looks all the time. In saying that, I think that the teal and this shimmer shade would go really pretty together. So I might try that as one look kind of coming up in spring with this shade here. This shade, maybe the dark brown and then the gold shimmer kind of color. I think that would be super pretty. I'm really enjoying getting into not my older palettes, but all of my palettes that I have right now. I've been enjoying creating looks with them because I've been experimenting. We haven't been able to go outside. Well, we can go outside. Let me rephrase that. We're allowed to go outside. We're allowed to go to the stores and stuff, but we can't go out on date night. We can't go to the bars or restaurants because they're all closed, at least until today is Thursday. So at least until tomorrow, until we find out what's going on. Basically, it's just it's interesting for me to do my makeup because part of me feels like it's a waste because we can't go anywhere. And usually when you do your makeup, it's like, oh yeah, like I'm doing my makeup to go somewhere. And the farthest place I go is the grocery store. That is one interesting take on this whole having to stay at home and not go anywhere. But at the same time, it is the perfect time to experiment and play around with your makeup because then you get to know what you really like. So I hope some of these looks are giving you guys inspiration. And, you know, when we get past this, like post pandemic, when we can go out into society again and celebrate, these makeup looks will come in handy. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh, and there's my dog. That's Gizmo. She's sitting over there. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe and hit that bell button, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye now.